There is evidence in the Worlds Part 1 update game files that we are getting a new star system type in No Man's Sky. The evidence is small, but it's pretty dang solid. It all comes down to 4 new icons. These icons aren't even linked to actual names in the language files. And there have been reports from people finding when you try to charge a portal that it comes up with this new stellar material to charge it with, but showing the language ID and not the actual text itself. So we don't know the name of this other than it is purple and purple 2. These are stellar class substances similar to indium, cadmium, etc. And the fact that there's 2 of these icons and one of them is an EX, it means that we have the normal and activated version of them. Now when it comes to stellar materials, these are linked to the actual stellar class of the star system. So the yellow, red, green and blue star systems. This new one is purple, which sounds extremely dissonant sentinel-y. The fact these substances are entirely linked to stellar class means that this is an icon for a material that would reside in a new type of star system, purple ones. Darklord mentions that he reckons it will be black, which would also be cool and kind of fits with the purple. Not only that, but we have 2 more icons as well. These are the technology for the actual drives themselves. So we have one for the freighter and one for a normal starship. These are the equivalent to cadmium, emerald and indium drives. Except we now have purple drives, but we just don't have the name for the actual material itself. Like it could even be like robotium. It's not going to be that. But the fact that we have a drive means that we need the drive. Or will anyway. We don't quite, it's not implemented in game yet. Like I said, we don't have the names and such. But this does pretty heavily point to that it's going to happen. There are sometimes things in the game files that don't make it to the final release. There are plenty of examples of this, including like the initial like turrets and stuff for base stuff that was in there from like Atlas Rises or Next or something. However, Hello Games often seem to sort of tease these things. And it seems that the experimental may not have these teasers in, but the 5.0 release does. I'm not entirely sure about that. I haven't had time to go through everything. But they often do tease these new features that are incoming. And a new star system type perfectly fits Worlds Part 2, or what we'd expect from this type of grand update. So I'd love to hear if anyone's found anything else. I've scoured the language files with as many keywords as I can find or think of, and I haven't been able to find anything just yet. Like using the existing drive names and altering them as if it was the new purple one. So adding purple, purple 2, access 4, and so forth. Anyone who's gone to the language files will know. I mean, if not, it probably sounds like complete gobbledygook. But I haven't found anything in the language files yet, and there is 0 difference in the language files between version 5.0 and the experimental. I'm having trouble with unpacking the 4.72 language files to compare those and see what's new. Yeah, it doesn't look like they've added anything into language files yet. This seems like a bit of a teaser. Like I said, the new purple stellar class substance was available to charge with, even though you couldn't actually obtain it anywhere, and this was in charging a portal, I believe. It's possible that's an oversight, but with how HG have done things in the past, this feels to me like a teaser. Of course, we don't know this. The only evidence we have of this entire thing are 4 icons, which are the new stellar class substance, the purple one, as well as the activated version. Then we also have the new purple drive for accessing this new system type for both the normal starship and the freighter. None of these have actual names other than the just purple drive. On the files, it's blue drive and stuff for indium, so it's completely in line with that. We just don't have the actual names. And we know that at least the substance is in the product file, which I can't currently access because the MBin compiler has not been updated yet. But they have to be in the product files in order to show up on the portal's charging device, the DHD. So they're definitely in there somewhere, which means it's likely got a value for selling it, as well as maybe markers for its strength in charging. So we could then compare that to indium and stuff and see if it's a greater material or similar to X-Class, where it's kind of the same material alongside the initial ones. What this means, essentially, it looks like they want to add new systems without resetting the current ones. So this is in line with what HG have done for many years now. Initially, there were a few galactic resets where everything was reset. but they've wanted to stay away from that so people could still keep their discoveries. And this is the perfect way to do it, adding, similar to a previous update where they added new planets to systems instead of changing the existing planets. Looks like they're going to add new systems to the galaxy. All regions don't actually have every single possible system in them. And by that, I mean that the amount of systems that a region in a galaxy can actually hold is never full. So say that each region can hold 512 systems, there's often between like 200 and 400 systems. That's just an example, just to kind of show the point, but that's kind of what it is. So they can add systems similar to in the way that systems can have 6 planets, but they sometimes only have 1. So yeah, this is all quite interesting. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If anyone's found anything new in the game files as well, or heard anything new, whack it in the comments. Very intrigued about what this is. We have no idea when we're going to get any of this stuff. We don't 100% know that we're going to, but I'm pretty, with how much it's implemented and the little tease, I definitely feel like we're going to get this at some point, but we just don't know when that is. But yeah, really cool update so far. Looking forward to getting in it. Twitch drops, which I'll be streaming tonight and for the next 5 days over on my Twitch, Zainsworld. So check that out if you want to get the drops in game. I'll be going live around 8 PM BST. So check that out. Thanks, guys, and keep an eye out for more content. Shidaisy.